What's up, guys? It is DeathOmen978 here, and I am bringing you a League of Legends gameplay that I did where I went, I think it was 10-4, and I won this game. It's a Gold 5 game. I'm still in Gold 5. I got demoted a little bit ago, uh, but I'm at like Gold 5, 70-ish points, so I might be getting promoted soon enough. And my cat's right here just meowing, trying to get me to pet it and stuff, and yeah. But anyway, so I'm over here, purple team. Uh, yeah. Just trying to exit out of some extra stuff I got open, and it's a really simple game. Playing as Annie. Gonna screen lock to Annie real quick. So I start out coming on down here to this bush, and I normally will come into this bush because enemies don't really check it. If they come into here, and then if they're going for an invade, and then we'll normally just run straight from here right up into here. And if they do that, they won't see you, but you'll see them and can warn your team pretty easily. Now Shyvana go ahead and goes in the same bush. I suggest always using this bush. Until people get used to it. Once people get used to it, they'll kinda
30 seconds until minions spawn.
not use it as much. Right about now, I ask Wukong if he wants me to leash or if he wants me to just go straight to lane. And he tells me that he only needs Morgana, so I go ahead and I'm not gonna leash him this game. And yeah, so I'm not gonna leash. And obviously I can see everybody, but from my point of view, I've seen nobody so far. Or nobody's seen anybody, and we're just gonna wait it out. This is kind of a very dull part of the game. Speed it up until it's a little bit faster. Kitty cat's just sitting under me, making me pet it. It's kind of annoying. So I just get an auto attack in, dodge out the spear. Now the main thing you gotta worry about when you're fighting a Nidalee is to dodge her spears. Like, if you see what I'm doing right here, I am staying as much behind minions as I can and trying to last hit. I do miss a lot of CS that should have been really easy. Like, I think I missed both of these CS here. Yeah, I missed that CS because I was too worried about hitting her. And Cat's still sitting here. Alright. So I'm getting a pretty good CS lead right now because I'm kind of zoning her a little bit. I can auto attack and stuff. She can't really do as much as I can because I have a little bit more burst early game unless she can hit spears. But then again, I'm sitting behind minions. Also, Annie's auto attack range is a little bit higher, so you definitely want to be auto attacking. So I'm scratching again. Cat's like clawing at the couch. So yeah, I'm being very aggressive and pushing up and trying not to let her kind of CS, because if I can get all of the CS under her tower, there's no way she's getting the last hits for all of it. But I do miss a good amount of it. I am still ahead, but if she were to just get these 4, she would catch up. Well, three of these now. Which is really annoying. I missed that W as well, which would have done a little bit more damage and maybe even forced her to back. Which is one of the main things. You want to make sure that the enemy team backs as much as you can. And I start heading up a little bit right there, just in case. I'm actually gonna switch back to full view. Our Wukong was like really on edge and kind of ragey this game. And so he was kind of screaming at everybody the whole time, but I kind of can't, because I used to scream at everybody a lot as well. Then I started to actually realize that most of the stuff was my mistakes. Bot lane's getting a little bit pushed back here because they're fighting a Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank can easily get a kill on them. However, they have Morgana, so the Black Shield can come out a little bit, and the Black Shield does actually save me. Now, they come in for a gank right here, and I have no clue that it's coming in. So I get a little bit cocky, or I don't really get cocky, but I'm like halfway, and I'm not afraid to throw out the flash. I just throw out my flash, I get away, and I don't worry about it. And luckily Xin Zhao doesn't stay around for long. I do sit back and just go ahead and let her farm, because it's not important that I get too much farm, because I am ahead of her right now, as long as I don't get killed. So I step back in the lane, grab a little bit of CS. Wukong starts ganking bot lane. They do get away, but Wukong gets a little bit of damage on them. Xin starts heading down for the counter gank, but he's a little bit too late. Everybody's trying to back off. Everything's fine. I think so. I can't remember exactly what happens here. We do get first blood though, and it doesn't happen for a very long time. Little spoiler right there. Yeah, so I'm still just trying to last hit, trying to farm, keeping my stun up this time because I know that Xin was around bot lane, thanks to this Wukong showing him off. So I know to sit back a little bit. Fast forward a little bit. More last hitting, more last hitting, last hitting. And then when we hit level 6 here, or no, not level 6, hold on. Last hitting, last hitting, last hitting. A lot of last hitting, and it's the same thing in all the lanes. I mean, there might be a little bit more exciting poke in some of the other lanes, but it's just last hitting. Now, I think she does get a couple spear shots in here soon, because I wasn't playing exactly smart. I'm just kind of waiting for him. Wukong pings to go and take blue, so I go and take blue. And then I come back mid, start pushing more again. I don't get hit by any of these spears, which is good. More last hitting, more last hitting, more last hitting. And then right here is where I see the first break. So I go ahead and start roaming bot. Sadly, I don't get anything out of this. I roam bot, I force them back, and then I run away. And Nid comes back and tries to push lane real fast, but I step in, grab all the farm. And during the first couple levels, you might find it hard to last hit with Annie. Right there, I had my stun, but I still just used my Q to get that farm. Once you get more used to a champion, it's kind of okay to give up some of your stronger stuff. Now right there I did take a spear and it took me almost to half health, so I have to be careful not to get hit by any other spears or else she can come in on me. Right here I call for a gank. The reason I call for this gank is so that I can start to roam, because if we can kill her or do anything, I'm able to get out of this lane, and at this point it's kind of a farm. So I tibbers and then she flashes, and that flash right there was huge, because what that flash did was it denies her an escape, which means she has to play safe, which means she can't roam as much, which gives me a huge advantage over her. And most people wouldn't see that as a huge advantage, but it is. So I take this opportunity to back, because I know that she's gone and everything. I call my MIAs. She had ran bot lane trying to get a kill and stuff, but I get back mid lane, just farming it up again. And this farming will happen for a while. Nobody's able to get first blood. I have a pretty sizable CS lead of 20 now. And then I see my Nidalee's going top. So what I do is I don't instantly head top. I quickly farm up my whole lane, getting as much CS as I can out of it. I'm not perfectly last inning because I don't care about it. And then I instantly start heading top looking for a gank. Now my Tibbers is up, my Flash is up, and there's 2 people up here. So they force him under tower, and then I wait for it, and then I Tibbers. She jumps away, but we continue the chase. She flashes, and then I wait. Both my skills are up, and then I flash, stun, and it gets Yasuo the kill. So that gives us the first blood, and I think we used 2 flashes in that whole thing. Nidalee comes in, and they kind of dance for a little bit, but nothing really happens. Everybody gets away. We got a kill out of it, so we're all good. She does dodge that out, which I think he gets the kill here. Yeah. And then I start heading bot lane to do a gank down there. Yasuo, I don't know if he makes it away here. Looks like he might. No, he gets killed. But they all got hurt and everything, and then I just come in and I do a little bit of damage, grab up and secure a kill. So now it's 2-3 in our favor. We do stay for too long here. You'll see that here in a second. Where their whole team is able to get, well, not the whole team, but a couple of members of the team are able to get back and regroup. And then when my Tibbers comes up, I decide to go in on the Nidalee to kind of try to get her to back off and everything. And they get a spear onto my Caitlyn, so I have to back off, or her and I both back off together. Now right here, I get a kill, and then my Tibbers blocks, so I am able to actually get back and survive. But our Wukong had died to Nidalee, along with Xin Zhao right there. So me and Caitlyn be out, and we head back to base, and once again we get back to a little kind of farming phase for a couple seconds where I'm just farming and pushing down turret. Nidalee is bot lane for way too long here, and I take advantage of that by first throwing down a ward and then second pushing turret as quick as I can. I take out turret, and then I start running and start roaming top lane. However, I see that Nidalee is following me here. Instead of continuing going forward, I go ahead and just turn around on Nidalee, knowing that her heal was down from the previous skirmish that we had bot lane. I pick up an easy kill. I'm now 3-0, and I look to push mid a little bit more and maybe head to another lane. So Morgana and I start pushing mid. We kind of dance around here, and then we push straight up and start taking or dealing some damage to the turret. Then Shiv teleports in, but we kind of just back away because they don't have any kill potential. I have a Rylai's. I opted to go Rylai's first so that they couldn't chase me, and I just back out peacefully. Kate decides to group. Yasuo is kind of being a lone wolf here, and he gets ganked by 3, and he does this a lot throughout the game and gets himself killed, but he did pick up a kill there, so I have to kind of give him that. I failed right there. Actually, back up and then speed it up. Alright, yeah, right here. So our team is kind of trying to bait them out to try to get a kill. And I want to flash Tibbers, but I fuck it up. I flash, and then I stand there, and I don't Tibbers. If I would have actually flashed Tibbers, we probably could have gotten a kill, but I screwed it up. So, whatever. So we start pushing down lane. My Tibbers is down, but we do pick up the stun there, and I get a little bit of damage down on him before having to back off. Morg does pick up the kill, but at this point I'm getting dived by 2. There's no way I'm making out of it, so I'm just trying to keep them on me as long as I can. We pick up a second kill thanks to Morgana, and then we're in full retreat right now because she could easily take down those 2 members. They're really low, and neither of them have very much mana. So she flashes and gets away. Morgana is able to heal and stun with the binding. And then they all back off, knowing that Nidalee wants to be involved. Actually, no, this is where it kind of goes stupid. They don't back off. Nidalee throws out a spear here and picks up Morgana. And then instantly turns and starts chasing here. Yasuo kind of goes after and gets the kill onto Graves. And then Nidalee is able to just quickly pick up the kill right there. And Yasuo died as well, so that was pretty bad. It kind of evened up the gold a little bit. We are still ahead by 1.2k. I start heading back up mid, trying to make sure that I can get some farm. Wukong does come in and take up all my farm though, so I'm just gonna farm the next wave that comes in. I think. No, I head top to pick up this farm. And then I head top, and then my team rages at me and is like, we can group and win this, or if we just push and everything. So I decide just to push out top and then start grouping mid, but I think they start the fight before I even get there, maybe? No. I get there, Nidalee throws out a spear, but I don't have boots, so I wasn't running fast enough to run into the spear. She was kind of predicting it wrong. We get a nice dark binding there, but it kind of doesn't translate into a kill because we're able to block off the ultimate from Kate, and then I get doped by 2. I tibbers and I keep on running. The thing is, I don't want to get targeted because I know that if I get targeted and bursted down, I lose. But I do pick up 2 here before going down, bringing me up to a triple kill in the whole fight. If we had Yasuo there, we would have won, but it ends up being a 2 for 2, which is a very good trade. Or, I mean, 3 for 3, which is definitely good. It's not as good for us because we kind of threw away our the huge lead that we had, or the 1.6k lead, which is a pretty good lead. It'll give you enough to win a team fight or 2. But that was a 4v5, and we still came out even on it, so if Yasuo was there, we would have won it. But Nid heads down, and Yasuo does pick her off right here. And then I believe he escapes. Oh no, he dies. Because he wasn't being smart, so it goes 4 for 4 again. And then, obviously Wukong was like raging at him for all of this, or for all of the deaths. And I'm just pushing up mid lane, and then I go to group up with Kate, and then I was trying to put a ward there, but I accidentally tibbered. And the problem with that is the fact that that's going to lose us the next team fight, where, we'll see it here in a second, just waiting here. So my tibbers is down at this point. It's got 70-something seconds on the cooldown, and one of our members gets pulled. I believe it's Yas, or no, Wukong decides to engage, but he ulted him instead of getting his ult on the 2. So my tibbers was down for this whole fight. I'm just kind of sitting in the back trying to get down as much damage as I can. And so the fight starts off going even. And so I'm playing them the best of my ability, trying to get some kills here. And we kind of all break off and run away because we're definitely losing the fight at this point. We got one of them, might as well back off while we're still ahead. But no, we decided to go ahead and try to push, try to get a little bit more of an advantage. I think somebody gets, Kate gets taken out by a spear there. So we're forced to back off here. And then I'm saying let's stay and fight because my tibbers is almost up. And then we can go back in. I do grab my tibbers onto Graves, but he's able to flash away. I flash away. I come back in for a couple, to get a couple skills down. I get the kill onto, what's his face there, Blitz. But I get chased down by these two because Siobhan is too tanky and the turret won't take her down. And then more fighting, or they push down the turret. We all get back up eventually. And I don't think I fuck up on my tibbers for the rest of the game. More farming and fighting and stuff. We all decide to group and go down to do Dragon because we have timer on Dragon. We might as well go ahead and do it. And we get engaged on it. Back up. Yeah. So we come down to do Dragon, and they're trying to position themselves to kind of get in a good teamfight position, but they only have 3. I mean, well, yeah, no, 4. Nidalee was off to the side. They have 4, we have 4. Shyvana and him are top. Our monkey gets pulled and decides to use his ult as soon as he can to make sure it hits everybody. I get to the back line and tibbers, but he gets healed and I get knocked to the side. At this point, I need to run away and get out of this because if not, I'm just going to get murdered here. And Morgana gets a very nice flash ult off. I get a huge combo out to stop them from being able to chase me. Morgana hits another nice binding, and we are able to turn it around and pick up a kill without losing all of our members. So we turn we go 4-4-1, I believe that engage was. And then they go to do Dragon, and I don't know if they actually got it. It looks like they might. Yeah, they get the Dragon, and while that's all going on, I'm just taking the turret. We all back off. Wukong calls me to do blue, so I get a nice blue buff. And Annie with blue buff is really good because then she can spam her spells a lot more, and if I'm able to spam a lot of spells, I'm getting that slow off my Rylai's down and the stuns down a lot faster. And I just build tanky overall, or Annie a little bit more tanky by getting a lot of health, and then relying on her E to kind of be that MR and armor that I need. And this allows me to stay in fights for a very long amount of time. Like, you'll see I get double dived and am able to escape, and then continue fighting. So it's just a little bit of back and forth, trying to take CS, trying to stay safe. Morgana gets hit by a spear there, so we kind of have to back off and let her stay back. I sit right here and get fooled, but I just flash over the wall to make sure that I don't get killed. Our team isn't grouped. We have one top, one bot. So it's just us versus the 4 of them, trying to keep them from taking the turn, I think. But as soon as they kind of break off to go kill our Yasuo, we start pushing straight up mid lane, and I don't think we take it. There's just a small skirmish that starts here, and then I kind of am trying to push him or this chick away, but I come up from the backside. I do pick up the kill on Blitzcrank, and then I try to chase down Shyvana, but she gets away, and then I'm stuck in between everybody with a Graves kind of screwing me over. So I die here, and then they try to push, but our Yasuo got up, and they didn't push his 4, or else they probably could have gotten something. Then Yasuo goes in. Wukong and Yasuo were raging at each other at that point. I had to kind of calm both of them down. They were raging at each other because Yasuo was like, why did you guys go in without us? And then Wukong was like, because you weren't there and you weren't coming. And it was just a bunch of negativity, but it's whatever. We won the game, so I didn't report either of them, even though I should have for the negative attitude and all. I dodge out the blitz hook right there, and I'm not afraid to use my stun because I know my cooldowns are low enough to get a stun up before we fight it anyway. So we're continuing to farm, continuing to push. I have a nice CS advantage over my lane, as does, actually let me do that for everybody. This, that, there. So I have a nice CS advantage over my lane. Over my lane, as does Yasuo and everybody else on our team. We definitely won in CS in this game. It was one of our better games, and then I had a very low amount of deaths throughout the whole game. Now I only get, I think, 1 kill in this last fight, but it's still completely worth it. So they're trying to taunt us and everything. Graves just barely doesn't get hit, but our monkey goes in, and I think he gets the very edge of that. But at this point, we're all focused on this guy who jumped in. Go ahead and go back 15 seconds. So Mr. Monkey decides to go all the way in, but the Xin Zhao decides to jump on me from the side because he figures he takes me out of the fight, they win the fight. I get black shielded so I don't get stunned. I drop my stun on him, and then I start to run away. And then as soon as I don't have the aggro on me anymore, I turn around and I start focusing on the Shyvana, trying to stop her. The reason I only get really 1 kill in this is because of that. And then I see a very nice Tibbers lineup where all of them are kind of sitting there together. And I drop my Tibbers. We're able to turn it so that we get all the kills. If you look before I drop the Tibbers, actually go to just before I drop the Tibbers. Fight, not fight. Fight. Alright. If you look at our HP before I drop the Tibbers, we are all within 1 step of death. And when I drop the Tibbers, all their lives just drop. We're able to easily turn around. Wukong can re-engage. We get the kill, but I think Wukong lives. And then they have 40-second spawn timers each, so I just have Tibbers tank this first turret. We take it with relative ease. We take the inhib, and then we just push for the win. Because we had plenty of time to win at that point. So it was a 35 minute, like 20 or so, or no, 35 minute, like 10-second game, I'd say. No, it's just under 35 minutes. It looks like it was. So it was like a 35-minute game-ish. I'm gonna get this right. It was a 34-minute game in 40, 50, 52 seconds. um, and I made a couple mistakes in there where I could have probably gone away without dying, or I shouldn't have engaged. But obviously, even pros make mistakes. It was a relatively low amount of deaths when I normally expect 6 or 7 deaths, and I only got 4 deaths this game. So I think it was a very good, very fun game, and definitely learned a lot from it. How to position better, and thank you for watching my little game analysis. Peace.